In a quiet village nestled among rolling hills, a group of young students gathered under the guidance of their venerable master. These eager boys were passionate about learning wisdom, yet they were also deeply curious about the qualities and behaviors they should avoid. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of gold, the boys gathered beneath a grand old tree. They sat in a circle, their hearts and minds filled with questions about what actions and qualities did not deserve their respect. A boy named Liza spoke up. "Master, we have learned much about the virtues that make a person wise and honorable, but can you guide us on the qualities and actions we should avoid? What should not command our respect?" The master, with his calm and tranquil presence, nodded. He understood the importance of not only recognizing virtues, but also knowing what to steer clear of. Respecting someone is about acknowledging their positive qualities, he began, but it's equally crucial to recognize the actions that deserve no respect. Let me share with you some qualities that you should avoid admiring. The first quality he mentioned was arrogance. Arrogant individuals carry themselves with an inflated sense of self-importance. They believe they are superior to others, often looking down upon those around them. This sense of superiority blinds them to the valuable lessons they can learn from their peers or even from life itself. Arrogance isolates people, making it hard for them to connect with others. They miss out on diverse perspectives, which are essential for personal growth and deeper understanding. Those who believe they already know everything shut themselves off from growth, rejecting constructive feedback and new knowledge. Wisdom, the master explained, arises from the awareness that there is always more to learn. Arrogance, therefore, not only prevents personal development, but also limits meaningful connections and the potential for growth through interaction with others. The students nodded thoughtfully, ready to learn more. The second quality the master spoke of was dishonesty. Dishonesty is rooted in a lack of integrity. Those who are dishonest often twist facts to suit their own interests, which erodes trust and damages relationships. In any relationship, whether personal or professional, trust is vital. A dishonest person can't be relied upon, and their words lose credibility. Over time, dishonesty creates an environment where truth becomes elusive and relationships become unstable. Trust, the master continued, is the foundation of all meaningful connections. Without it, any relationship, no matter how close, will eventually crumble. The third quality the master warned them about was greed. Greedy individuals are consumed with an insatiable desire for more. More wealth, more status, more power, without considering the well-being of others. Greed leads people to take advantage of others for personal gain, and it leaves them perpetually dissatisfied, always craving what they don't have. It destroys the balance in relationships and fosters an environment of selfishness. True happiness, the master said, does not come from material wealth but from contentment and generosity. Greed clouds the mind, preventing people from appreciating the simple joys in life. The fourth quality was anger. The master explained that anger, when uncontrolled, becomes a destructive force. It clouds judgment, leads to rash actions, and harms both the person who is angry and those around them. Anger is a reaction to perceived injustice or frustration, but when it's not managed properly, it creates conflict and suffering. Cultivating patience and understanding, the master emphasized, is essential for peace. Those who allow anger to take over can never truly find harmony or peace within themselves. Finally, the master spoke of envy. Envy is the feeling of longing for something that belongs to another, whether it's material possessions, talents, or achievements. It arises from a sense of insecurity and dissatisfaction with one's own life. Envy fosters bitterness, resentment, and competition, preventing people from appreciating their own unique journey. The master reminded the students that comparing oneself to others leads to unnecessary suffering. It blinds them to their own potential and happiness, causing them to live in the shadow of others instead of embracing their own path. The master paused, allowing the boys to absorb the wisdom he had shared. He then concluded, "Respect is not simply about admiring what others do, but understanding the qualities that lead to peace, wisdom, and growth. Avoid those who embody arrogance, dishonesty, greed, anger, and envy. Instead, surround yourself with people who lead with humility, honesty, generosity, patience, and contentment. These are the qualities that deserve your respect, for they lead to a life of peace and true fulfillment. The boys sat silently, contemplating the master's words. They understood that respect isn't just about admiration. It's about recognizing the actions and qualities that contribute to a peaceful and virtuous life. They left that evening with a deep sense of clarity about the path they should walk, knowing that wisdom comes not just from understanding what to seek, but also from understanding what to avoid. The master's lessons continued as the students eagerly absorbed his wisdom. He shared that the third quality not deserving of respect is selfishness. Selfishness is a deeply undesirable trait, one that can significantly harm both individuals and communities. Those who are selfish often prioritize their own desires and needs above the well-being of others. This self-centered behavior not only damages personal relationships, but also creates a lack of harmony within communities. Selfish individuals refuse to share, insist on having their way, or pursue personal gain at the expense of others. The master explained that selfishness erodes trust and fosters conflict, as it demonstrates a lack of concern for others. A community that tolerates or respects selfish behavior is doomed to a lack of unity and genuine caring. The master emphasized that we should avoid respecting selfishness and instead promote behaviors that prioritize the collective well-being over individual desires. Only by doing so can we create a more harmonious and considerate world. The students listened intently, and the master moved on to the next point. The fourth quality that deserves no respect, he said, is cruelty. Cruelty is the deliberate infliction of harm on others, whether physical, emotional, or psychological. It stands in stark contrast to the values of compassion and empathy, which should be extended to those in need. Cruelty, on the other hand, is morally and ethically unacceptable. Compassion involves understanding and sharing the feelings of others, and it's these qualities that deserve respect. Cruel individuals intentionally engage in actions that cause pain and suffering, and these actions not only hurt others, but also damage the fabric of human connection. The master made it clear that there is no place for cruelty in a virtuous heart or wise mind. Instead, we should cultivate kindness, empathy, and compassion, which are the building blocks for a more harmonious and just world. The master's voice was steady as he reminded the boys that cruelty must never be respected, for it undermines everything we seek to build in a peaceful society. The students absorbed this teaching with deep reflection. The master then continued, moving to the next topic. Laziness, he said, is the fifth quality that should not be respected. Laziness refers to the unwillingness or lack of drive to make the most of one's abilities. Individuals who are lazy fail to contribute positively to society as they consistently avoid responsibility and neglect their potential. Respect, the master explained, is reserved for those who demonstrate hard work, diligence, and dedication. Laziness is not about taking a break or enjoying rest. Those moments are necessary for balance and well-being, but rather a persistent avoidance of responsibility. Laziness stunts personal growth and limits progress in both the individual's life and the broader community. The master pointed out that those who embody perseverance and a strong work ethic are often the ones who drive change, inspire others, and lead by example. People who are lazy, however, contribute little to the world around them and squander the opportunities they are given. In a society that values effort, ambition, and progress, laziness holds no place for respect. The boys nodded in understanding, recognizing the value of the master's words. They knew that true progress comes from a commitment to effort, growth, and dedication. With these teachings, the master had laid the foundation for what they should avoid in life: arrogance, dishonesty, selfishness, cruelty, and laziness. These qualities, the master explained, are destructive not only to the individual, but to society at large. The master's voice grew even more solemn as he continued with his guidance. By learning to recognize and reject these behaviors, you will begin to surround yourself with positive qualities that lead to personal growth, deeper relationships, and a peaceful society, he said. Your true path lies not in admiring those who embody arrogance, dishonesty, selfishness, cruelty, or laziness, but in embracing those who live with humility, integrity, compassion, and diligence. The students were silent for a moment, each contemplating the deep wisdom imparted to them. They knew that respecting virtues that lead to personal and communal growth would make them better individuals and help them contribute to a more harmonious world. The master had not only taught them what to avoid, but also the path to follow, a path of wisdom, kindness, and self-awareness. As the evening drew to a close, the boys left the circle under the grand tree with a newfound clarity. They understood that life is not simply about recognizing the qualities we should respect, but also about being aware of those actions that we must avoid. They carried the master's teachings in their hearts, knowing that the qualities they chose to respect would shape the lives they led and the world they hoped to create. The master's words were a guide to living a life that values wisdom, virtue, and compassion, and the students vowed to live by these principles, striving each day to become the best versions of themselves and to make the world a better place through their actions. The master continued his teachings, addressing the sixth quality that should not be respected: close-mindedness. He explained that individuals who are close-minded tend to shut themselves off from considering different perspectives or new ideas. In doing so, they hinder not only their own personal growth, but also the progress of their communities. Open-mindedness, on the other hand, is a virtue that promotes understanding, creativity, and unity, while close-mindedness obstructs these essential qualities. He elaborated, saying that close-minded individuals are often unwilling to entertain ideas or viewpoints that differ from their own. This creates mental barriers that prevent the exchange of knowledge and the exploration of diverse thoughts. Such a mindset leads to stagnation and a lack of progress, both for the individual and the collective group they belong to. In essence, close-mindedness closes the door to potential growth and enlightenment. On the contrary, open-mindedness fosters the free flow of ideas and promotes a spirit of learning and cooperation. People who are open to new perspectives can engage in constructive discussions, solve problems more effectively, and adapt to changing circumstances. This openness enables them to embrace diversity, learn from others, and build stronger, more harmonious communities. The master urged his students not to respect close-mindedness, as it stifles growth and hampers positive progress. Instead, they should cultivate open-mindedness as a valuable quality that leads to greater understanding, collaboration, and personal. The students sat in rapt attention, absorbing the lesson, and the master continued with the seventh quality: envy. Envy, the master said, is a deeply ingrained emotion in some individuals. It manifests as bitterness or discontent towards others' successes, possessions, or advantages. This feeling can be a destructive force in one's life, leading to negativity and hampering personal growth. Development. The students sat in rapt attention, absorbing the lesson, and the master continued with the seventh quality: envy. Envy, the master said, is a deeply ingrained emotion in some individuals. It manifests as bitterness or discontent towards others' successes, possessions, or advantages. This feeling can be a destructive force in one's life, leading to negativity and hampering personal growth. He delved deeper into the notion of envy. Envy often arises when we compare ourselves to others and find ourselves lacking in some way. It is a painful emotion because it not only makes us resent someone else's good fortune, but also robs us of our own joy and contentment. When envy is allowed to fester, it leads to a host of negative consequences. It strains relationships, as envy often makes us act unkindly or unsupportively toward others. It can also undermine self-esteem and confidence because constantly measuring ourselves against others makes us feel moreover. Envy acts as a significant barrier to personal development. It distracts us from our own goals and aspirations as we become preoccupied with what others have achieved instead of focusing on our own growth. Instead of using others' success as motivation, envy turns it into a source of frustration and self-doubt. The master emphasized that respecting envy means recognizing its toxic nature and making a conscious effort to steer clear of it. The students absorbed this wisdom with great care, understanding the importance of resisting envy and embracing a mindset of growth and self-acceptance. They realized that true happiness does not come from comparing themselves to others, but from focusing on their own journey and finding contentment in their personal progress. The master's words were not just teachings for the moment, but timeless guidance that would shape the students' lives for years to come. By recognizing and rejecting the qualities of arrogance, dishonesty, selfishness, cruelty, laziness, close-mindedness, and envy, they would be better equipped to live virtuous and fulfilling lives. In this way, the master's teachings would continue to guide them, helping them become individuals who contribute positively to their communities and live with the understanding that true respect is earned through actions rooted in wisdom and virtue. The story of Buddha teaching about qualities that are not worthy of respect reminds us in modern life. In today's society, we often get caught up in comparison, selfishness, or closed-minded attitudes. However, Buddha taught that, instead of respecting arrogance or deceit, we should value humility, honesty, and openness to learning. The important thing is to develop yourself, not to let jealousy or negative habits hinder your path to maturity and happiness. Respecting ourselves and our true values will help us live fully and peacefully.